Great.
We met Father Greg, who is from San Lucas Mission, the priest there, and we got to talk to him a little bit, and he told us about how important it is for Americans to come visit places like Guatemala to learn the culture and learn about the people, because getting to know someone is the first step in getting along.
So at San Lucas Mission, we went to one of their programs, which was learning how to do the coffee process. We ended up going to a coffee nursery and picking the berries off of the coffee tree. There are these cute little red berries, and inside is the coffee seed, and we picked them all off the tree in these big baskets. We were there for 2 hours and barely filled a basket. However, Romero, our guide, had told us that a native, someone who picks coffee all the time, could fill this huge basket in 22 minutes, which was amazing considering we had been there for 2 hours and hadn't, filled the basket yet.
So the next day, after we picked the coffee fruit, we got to go to up way on top of a hill where they process the coffee. So we got to watch each of the coffee farmers walk up the hill with about an 80, 90, or 100-pound bag carried on their back. And they carry it to the top of this hill. They have it weighed by the San Lucas Mission workers. And then they dump the cherries, which they call the coffee fruit, into this big pit in which they then fill with water and filters down to the bottom of the hill. And then they sort the good fruit from the bad fruit. And this was awesome to watch because not only are these men carrying 100-pound bags on their back up this 4-story hill, but they have so much pride in their coffee and getting their coffee weighed and getting the slip so that they can get paid. You just saw so much pride in their faces and how proud they are of their coffee farming.
When these farmers do bring their coffee up and are getting it weighed and get their wages for it, they're making about $30 for that huge bag that they filled, like 150-pound bag, and that's not even near to what Americans make, even their minimum wage. And it's just like crazy to think that these people who work so hard and it's their life to make this coffee, and it feeds their family, and it's nothing compared to the United States.
That was so good.
At San Lucas Mission, there's so many programs that are being implemented right now. There's education, there's women's empowerment clinic, and reforestation. And these programs are so important, and they really wouldn't work without the other. And the one that really interested me the most was the Women's Empowerment Center. The Mayan culture is slowly deteriorating right now, and everybody's learning Spanish, and nobody's really wanting to be Mayan anymore. And this Women's Empowerment Center really promotes the culture, and it promotes being a woman. And they learn how to be a housewife and how to cook, how to clean, how to do whatever they feel necessary in their lives. And I think that that's really important.
So one afternoon we visited the health clinic at San Lucas Mission, and it was just incredible because someone's health is so important. And to see that the opportunity was given to these people that really can't afford health care and get the basic necessities that you or I think of as being normal, they really can't afford or get. But here at the health clinic at San Lucas Mission, it's possible because of volunteers, and different American surgeons come in and they perform surgeries on eyes. Pregnant women come, and anything that is necessary is given to these people at San Lucas Mission, and I find it so important because
during my time in Barcenas, I was able to stay with a host family, which was awesome. I learned more of the culture. I was immersed in it. What was really cool was the father that I stayed with was an English teacher, so he was able to teach me more Spanish as I was able to teach him and his children and his wife a little bit of more English. And I feel that staying with a family has really enlightened me and proven to me that I have more courage than I ever thought I had.
So after we visited the missionary sisters in Barcenas, we came to visit the Cabrini Mission Sisters in Guatemala City. And we got to come and stay at the convent for 2 nights, which was awesome because they really are a lot of fun. We got to eat meals with them, they cooked for us, and we also got to see a little bit of the city. which they said is kind of a bad area, but because we stay with the nuns, they're very appreciated in the community and very respected in the community. So they said, and I felt safe.
It's really cool to be here and experience the Cabrini Missionary Sisters because you kind of realize that being at Cabrini College or something, you're part of something bigger. Cabrini Missionary Sisters do so much great stuff, and they're all over the world, and we got to experience that here and see exactly what they do, and it really is a very special relationship we have with them.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. So tomorrow morning we're heading back to the United States and getting on a plane and going back to Cabrini, and hopefully with everything that we've learned this week and gathered all of our information through all our media sources, hopefully we can bring it back and show the Cabrini community as well as everyone else in the area and teach them that justice really does matter and we can make a difference.
So what word would I use to describe this experience? It would definitely be friendship. I feel that we have strengthened the friendship that all 5 of us have had, and we have gained new friends, both at San Lucas Mission and in the cities that we have visited throughout our.
Do it again.
So what word would I use to describe this experience? It would definitely be the word friendship. I feel that our friendship as 5 of us have definitely strengthened, and we have also made new friends along the way. We made a ton of new friends at San Lucas Mission with Catherine and Josiah and our translator Michelle, and definitely Father Greg. And we have definitely made new friends with the sisters in both Barcenas and Guatemala City. I feel that friendship is just what has formed this trip and what has made this trip the greatest experience that I've ever had in my life so far. And yeah, we'll just cut it there.
Now I'm getting ahead of myself. So what word would I use to describe this experience? Courage. Because I got to interview a woman named Chola who works at the San Lucas Mission. And I actually served as the translator because she only spoke Spanish. And telling her story to everyone through her was definitely a hard thing for me to do, to portray the emotion that she had lived through. She lived through the Civil War in Guatemala. Her husband was killed. They don't know where he is. They never found his body. He left for work one day and never came back. And so she lived by herself with their children. Every night she feared for her children that the guerrillas and the military would come in and take her children away from her. And so one day they found out that there were 11 children in a town called Quiche, where their parents had been killed. 2 different families. The parents had been killed, and these children were hiding out in the church there and had nowhere to go. Their parents had been killed, and although there were 3 military checkpoints on the way to Quiche, Chola got a car, talked Father Greg into letting her go and save these children. And I picked the word courage because she risked her life to save these 11 children that she helped raise, and they still live in San Lucas today.
The word I would choose to describe this experience would be enlightenment. I feel like this whole trip I've learned more than I could learn in any class. There's times where I would just stop for a second and really think about where I was and what I was doing and what I was looking at, how I was feeling. And I don't have moments like that at home back at Cabrini and in America because I feel like I'm always so busy. So it was really nice just to sit there and even looking at these people living in poverty or looking at the Cabrini Missionary Sisters and the stuff that they do. There's just so many times where I really just felt really enlightened by the whole experience. It's almost undescribable. The way I felt, I can't really put it into so many words, but it's really something special that really has changed me.
Go. Okay. Mm-hmm. My word is teaching. Father Greg, the night that we had an interview with him, he said, we're here to experience Guatemala. We're here to experience the Mayan culture and how beautiful the people are and how amazing they are and what their culture is like. And we are going to go back to the States and we're going to tell their story. We're going to teach people about the Mayan culture and what they were like and what is going on in their lives and what happened in their culture. And their